Hi, I'm Adeniyi Adenubi, co-founder and executive director at VFD Group. Nest egg, very important. Whatever you're doing, have some savings. Put the savings into investments. Let it compound. Compounding interest, game changer. Number 3, delayed gratification, which ties to number 2. Wait until absolutely necessary before you enjoy something. And if you must, just enjoy a little bit and let the thing continue to compound. Number 4, take time off. Free your mind. Take a holiday, which seems like it's in contrast to number 3, but it's not. At whatever level you are, make sure that you're relaxing and allowing your mind to breathe and think of new ideas. Number 5, be intentional about your relationships. Everything starts and ends there for me. Thank you.
Awesome.
Adenubi, I've been talking to Bola on conversations with Bola.
Welcome back, and I've still got Mr. Adeniyi Adenubi here with me, financier, art collector, and co-founder of VFD Group. You might want to call him Young Billionaire. But anyway, let's talk about art, because everyone that knows me knows that arts have got my heart 100%. And as I said before, Nee is a big art collector. Tell me about your art collection. How did you find art? Well, what happened first? Was it the money first or the art? Is it something that happens to people when they have a lot of money? Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
No, I think the egg came first.
The money?
No, which is the egg. The art came first. The art came first. So, being here in London, I, was in the mix with a group of young Nigerians who were doing very exciting things in London. And part of how we socialized was to engage with culture and visual arts especially. But it was also the time that Nigeria and African story was rising. Mm-hmm. In fact, I remember coming to Kensington Olympia, one of the things where you exhibited. I don't know if you remember, but there was like photography of like African hair at the back, and my friend Adu was also there. So those were the kind of things that we did then. There were so many exhibitions and shows that were projecting African art that we used to visit. But also is that being here, you go to all the major museums back in the day, and all the major art shows. And I personally was very interested. I had the eye for it. And I could tell you about Pablo Picasso, I could tell you about Van Gogh, I could tell you about Henri Matisse, I could tell you about Jackson Pollock and whatnot. I could tell you their schools, their style, I could recognize their works. But I didn't really know that much about my own history. So it dawned on me that if I want representation, I want to see something that reflects me, we have to start it with ourselves. So I started reading about it, and then from the reading, from historic basis, I started collecting.
That's incredible. Personally, I have just fallen deeply and madly in love with African art. And I've always felt that way, that connection, because when I create pieces, I tend to create from the background of being African, using African prints, using various mediums that were open to me as a child that I saw. So I've always got this connection that I feel towards African artists. And in my own little way, I have felt that I've supported artists from the unknown street artists way up to however the pocket allows. However, I find that there's a kind of like snobbish behavior, especially around people that have a lot of money, where they seriously just focus on artists that are established and forgetting that, the ones that are upcoming need probably that help up more than some of the established ones. What's your take on that? Do you buy art from unknown names, or is it just the big boys and the big girls in arts that you buy?
Great question.
Am I put you on the spot?
Yes, trying to set me up. But also, let me also use this opportunity to thank you. I think in very many ways, you're a part of my art story. You and I being so close, I've seen you be so creative and be so supportive of the entire Nigerian and African art ecosystem for so long, probably 25 years now, from when you started the magazine Continental, right? So thank you so much for always leading the way.
Oh, thank you.
You know, the thing I like to say is that collecting is not enough, right? We have to be patrons. For the people that can support the arts and creative industry more than just collecting, we have to be patrons.
Yes.
Which is that when there's no reward, when it's not like the art is going to keep value, we have to support this whole infrastructure. If we don't, then the thing I was talking about at the beginning, where I was visiting global international museums and I didn't see that representation, it's not going to work, it's not going to last, because if we ourselves are not putting our resources behind our own culture, our own storytelling, then it's not sustainable. So that's my answer. I hope it's political enough.
Should we like undress his collection just so we see who's there? But yeah, I love that answer. I think it's quite wholesome. However, I think that generally, in terms of supporting creatives out there, I feel like a lot of people should be doing more. Maybe again, because I'm a creative myself, I see the pain that a lot of creatives go through. All they know about is creating, and all they ever want to do is create. That marry up area where they're able to take their creations to market is not always clear for artists and creatives. And I think we should be answers to that, but how would you suggest that we approach that, closing that gap for people that are creating, that have not yet hit the big time, but need to be found because they're creating great works? This is their life.
Yeah, I mean, this problem is not new. It's existed for like nearly 500 years, since the beginning of art collecting creatives in Florence. Artists and patrons and collectors have had this issue about how is it sustainable for the artist. But the world has come a long way. I'll encourage artists generally to be a little savvier with managing their affairs, but also they can hire managers and agents who do this bidding on their behalf. I've found that most of the artists that do well consistently, it's not because they're brilliant managers, it's because they've outsourced that part of their game to professional managers or dealers. So, and I know that also it's a chicken and egg type situation, because dealers also only want an artist that is, on the path to greatness. So put in the work, you'll be discovered, and have a mindset of working within a structure as opposed to just wanting to create without the structure.
Okay, I'll come back to that. Because wanting to create is not always wanting to create. It's about, this is all I know how to do. This is all I was born to do. And so yeah, there are lots of back and forth that needs to be done around that industry and supporting creatives.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about your collection. I've seen some of your collection and they are to die for. Not literally, don't die, but they are incredibly beautiful, very well. And I know that you've got a good eye for art. So tell me, who are the artists to watch?
Thank you very much for that compliment. I do think that I have a fairly decent eye, but I also engage using advisors to collect, actually.
Okay.
Yes. So I collect aesthetically, but I also collect historically. So I want works that have some symbolism in terms of what they represent in historical context. Artists that I'm liking today, a lot of them are Nigerians, a lot of them are young, and a lot of them are females.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think the future belongs to them, and they're creating great works. Nengi Omuku is a favorite. She's really brilliant. A girl called Okikia Kife also is really amazing. There's several. I don't want to get in trouble for not naming as many, but there's so many. The Chidima as well is very exciting. Chidima Noli, very, very exciting. All of them are also very well educated with a very good trajectory in visual arts, and some of them are very well represented also. But I do like the work that's coming out of the country.
It almost feels like there's an art renaissance, like
definitely
something
is.
in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Sotheby's, all the big names,
championing African
championing African art.
Yeah.
How did that happen? And I know that you're part of that. So tell us a little bit about that.
I think it's a natural evolution, right? So we're seeing the emergence of Chinese art, Indian art, Latin American art. It seemed like Africa was the last bastion, and then that happened. And it's very exciting if you're familiar with those works. They're very colorful, they're very rich, very original. And we do know that from the masks that were created in Benin and many African countries back in the day inspired someone like a Picasso or Giacometti to create their own art. So there's plenty of connection to the global art story that was never written. I think is belatedly written. I think it's about time. But so many institutions are doing great things. Sotheby's, Bonhams are doing great things. I was just in Venice for the Biennale, and Nigeria had an exceptional outing that was led by the Edo State government and MOA, which is the Museum of West African Art. A fantastic cultural showing for Nigeria. I think probably it's one of the best things that we've done culturally since Festac.
Wow.
Everybody wanted to go to the Nigerian Pavilion.
Wow.
Globally, it was really, really exciting. I was very.
Do you think that was because of our art, or do you think because it's a good time to be Nigerian? Because the whole the whole narrative around Nigeria now is smart people, wise people, fun people. We're having a good
I think so.
time now socially.
I think it's all of the above. I think our art, obviously, the story has been told for like 20 years now, deliberately, and that's working. I think this particular curation by Andrea was exceptional. I think the backing of MOA and the Edo State government also, they committed a lot of resources to it. I think they were very serious about it, so that also made it the case. But now, there was a time when Nigeria was only known for 419, credit card frauds and those kind of things. But now we're known for a lot more. We're known for our creativity, for our music,
absolutely,
for our skits on Instagram and Twitter.
I kind of think that's because we just got in there and decided to tell our own story socially. People can now see who we are, that we're fun people.
I feel like we've always done that. There was just not the platform that existed for people to see it. And I think those social media platforms transformed everything. When I was in Venice, I was having dinner by myself just before I went to the airport, just outside. And there were a group of 4 ladies who sat on the table next to me. And I guess they figured I was Nigerian. They asked me 1 or 2 questions. And the big question was, oh my God, we want to go to your party tonight, at the pavilion party tonight. I said, I'm not even staying for that. I have to go back to London. And like, okay. She was like, can you get us RSVP? I said, I could try. I know them quite well. And she says, she tells me her name, and she says, RSVP +7. I said,
oh my goodness.
I said, everybody wants to be there. Exactly. How do I get to RSVP +7? But that just shows you the interest of people wanting to come to Nigerian parties these days.
So for people that want to start collecting art, what would you advise? What should they start with?
Well,
who should they start with?
It depends on your personal style. I am a reader and I'm a naturally curious person. And so I started from the perspective of wanting to know how, modern art of Africa came about. And so because I read that, I was consumed by it, and I started collecting through that. Some people just go for contemporary and They go for what they like, they aesthetically like. So it all depends on your style. But I think everybody should be collecting. I think everybody should be a part of this storytelling. I think our visual arts represents who we are and how we do what we do. And also to note that the creative economy of Nigeria especially as being one of the positive or the most positive things that have come out of Nigeria probably in the last 8 to 10 years. It's been quite difficult locally. The economy has been quite tough. We've seen exchange rate problems, we've seen inflation. Well, we keep seeing creativity all the time. We see people like Burna Boy, now global superstars, David O, Wizkid, Ashake. We've seen visual artists become superstars also, selling us at the bees and Bonnets and Christie's. We're seeing skit makers, comics, having
like literally got our fingers in
hits on YouTube and whatnot. So I think this is without major support from corporate organizations or the government. This is just people individually showcasing their talent and trying to monetize it. So I think that if we add some support to that from corporate organizations through patronage, government support, I think we could really have a great multiplier effect with this.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about me, the man, the friend, the brother, the father, the husband. Tell me about you. Tell us about you. What are the things that make you tick?
Things that make me tick. I like people. I love people. I love humans. I love relationships. I love friendships. I love to get to find out what makes people tick. I love to gather with people and have all kinds of discussions, some serious, some not so serious. I like to eat. I like to host. I like to explore my heritage. I love being Nigerian. I love being Yoruba. So I love our stories. I love our food. I love all our idiosyncrasies.
How do you balance everything? Because when you have money, a lot of things change. Your friendships, your... I feel like when people come into money, they start to pick who they speak with. They start to kind of like decide who they want to spend, more time with. How have you managed to keep your old friendships? And I know that it could all be strategic because, you want people that you're talking the same language, the same big deals. How have you maintained, or do you maintain old relationships, I should say?
I think it's important to be true to oneself. And I think it's important to be authentic with who you are. I think anyone who decides to base their friendships off the back of an economic bracket, in my opinion, is doing something wrong. I think you love people that you love, whether they have $10 million or they have $10. It's irrespective. People are going to love you whether you have $10 million or you have $10. The real love anyway. So I think I'll go with my hero Warren Buffett saying when he says, true success in life is having the people that you love you back. That's where the foundation starts. So I cannot imagine that anyone is being picky using economic standards to pick their friends. However, I do also recognize that sometimes in life those things happen. People drop off along the way.
No, I think where I'm taking this is I've been around and I know a lot of people that are doing very well. And one of the narratives I hear over and over again that really, really winds me up is the idea of being strategic in terms of choosing the people. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it because my personality is just based on loving people regardless of what they have and what they can bring to the table. However, I know that with people that are very, very rich, perhaps maybe that's why they're very, very rich, have this idea of strategic relationships. You see people, you ask them what they do, and you decide there and then if you want them in your life or not. What's your take on that? Do I have to grow up and become more strategic? Is that where my problem is?
I don't know how to answer the question.
Do it, because I know you're all strategic.
No, but I think that if you're also focused on what you're doing, somehow you want people in the room that mutually facilitate what you're doing. So it's a natural progression to want to be in a room socially with people whom you're probably collaborating with, your co-shareholders of something, or you're looking to buy something together. It's natural, but I don't think that you should do it at the expense of your non-strategic relationships.
Okay, so when you get a lot of money, when you become like really, really rich, do you not see value in just liking the way someone plays squash and you just go and play squash? Does it always have to be linked to making more money or chasing the dream?
I don't believe that
or
that's
chasing
the
the goal?
I don't believe that's the case. I believe that people are authentic. I believe people want to be around real people, and I think it doesn't matter whether they have $10 or they have $10 million. I think if you have $10 million and someone doesn't like you, they will find it difficult to be around you.
Is that your final answer? Thank you so much, Nee. It's been wonderful having you. But before I let you go, Nee, I've got one question that I want to ask you. People out there that want to start their own businesses and want to go for whatever it is, whether in finance or in any other endeavor in life, give me not 3, not 2, not 4, but 5 top tips on how they can get started and make a success of their goals. Let's start with 1.
Okay, that's great.
I didn't want him, so this is rather unfair. But he's a billionaire. We don't give billionaires what's it called? We don't cut them no slack.
It's very difficult to have like a blanket approach to those kind of advice. Anyways, but like I said initially, whatever your income is, always try to have a nest egg. Put some money aside. Continue to grow it.
Okay, so the first one is nest egg.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 2 is believe in compounding interest. It's a game changer.
Tell us about that.
Compounding interest is the idea of having some money being invested, and when the return on that money comes back, instead of you to take it out, continue to reinvest it. Number 3, tied to number 2, in very many ways have what you call delayed gratification.
I love that.
So wait till the end, not the end, but strategically pace yourself in terms of how you get gratified. There was a survey that was carried out, I think by one of the Ivy League schools in America, and they were testing children who could, the idea was who could delay the gratification. If you do this, wait till 3 p.m. before you have a chocolate. And they tracked them over a 30-year period, and I think the data showed that the people who demonstrated that they're able to wait a little longer for gratification typically do better. But also, in a way, something that is opposite to that is that also try to enjoy your life to the very best at every point in time, even as you're delaying your gratification. So delayed gratification doesn't mean that you frustrate yourself so much that you're unable to think about good ideas, you're stressed all the time, your mind is not free. So whatever it is that gives you freedom of mind, that allows for innovative thoughts, things that can be productive.
I love that. I love the idea of even
Correct.
just doing things you enjoy,
Yes.
go swimming,
Go
dancing.
Go for a holiday. It doesn't have to
Exactly.
be a £10,000 holiday. It could be in London, it could be down the road, it could be in Brighton. You don't have to go to Venice. But do those things that will clear your mind and that they would reinvigorate you and give you energy for new ideas. I think that's very important. And relationships, I believe, is everything. I think be intentional about your relationship with your family, with your friends, with your associates, with everything. Nothing should be too random. I think intentionality is great.
I love that.
Thank you very much. Those are my 5 tips.
Those are your 5 tips. This is the thing, right? This is how you have to be prepared because you just don't know what's coming. But as a billionaire, I think you did good. But before I let you go again, Nee, I've got a few questions that have been sent in by text. We'll make this really snappy. But one of the questions I've got here for you is, can you tell us exciting new projects you've got on the horizon?
Yes, we have this. We're trying to create this split economy in Nigeria. Most assets that are worthwhile for investing, that steady, are quite large in terms of the value, and most people cannot afford to, for example, buy them. Say, for example, real estate in Ikoyi. In today's market, you need anything between 400 to a billion to acquire a property. But just because you don't have that money does not mean that you should not have access to investing in the primest asset class in real estate in Nigeria, for example. So we're looking for a way to use technology to bring such investments on a retail basis, which is to split the ownership of that kind of investment. So let's say, for example, the properties cost 500 million and 500 people can own it and own 1 million naira value of it. And the income that is generated through rent will be distributed yearly to all the owners, and over time, as the value of the properties increase, it would also reflect in their individual unit holdings. And we can do that across many lines. We can do that for art ownership. We can do that for movie production. We can do that for music production, where
That's incredible.
There's collective ownership and financing of those things, so that these asset classes that were previously unavailable to lesser income people is now available on a retail basis.
Okay. I've just said a question here for you. Thank you so much for that. So VFD Group, you've got interest as a bank, you've got VFD Mortgage, you've got asset management, you've got the stock brokerage. Someone else over here, what are the next steps for VFD in terms of expansion, global markets, anything like that on your mind?
Yes, that would be great. We would like to say that we have ambitions for African play, and subsequent to the African play, a global play. We have some access to London in the UK. We have some access to some cities in America, but I think in the next 5 years, the focus is on African expansion. So we're already in Ghana. There's VFD Group Ghana now. We're having some conversations in Rwanda and other East African countries. We're also working on a project in South Africa. So we plan to let that tentacle spread across the continent, and then subsequently we'll see where it takes us.
Incredible. So, if you were to write a letter to your younger self, age 18, tell me what you'd say to him.
I'd say believe in yourself, which is what I said to him then anyways. Believe in yourself. The people that have done anything that is remarkable, they did it because they believed in themselves. And it doesn't mean that you wouldn't feel fear. It doesn't mean that the road along would not be bumpy. But if you don't start, then you will never know anyway. So I'll say, go for it. Believe in yourself. See where it lands you.
Okay, awesome.
Hello once again. My name is Adeniyi Adenubi. I've been talking to Bola on Conversations with Bola. The one thing I want you to go away with is belief, self-belief. Just go and try whatever ideas that you're having, whatever you're thinking about, as long as you've thought about it deliberately and you've analyzed it very well, just go for it. Stay focused, but be flexible. You don't know where it's going to land you, but stay focused on the journey. It's been really nice talking to you. Thank you.